So the next video in the module is talking about the pre-application stage. So this is the stage before you submit everything over to the lender and kind of all of the stages that take place, I guess, before that happens. So the first thing you do is you'll gather all of the information about the deal. You'll gather purchase price, if there's any refurb to take place, essentially the bones of that deal. You'll submit it over to your broker then has a look through it, comes up with any questions. Those questions are fairly standard. How long do you want the loan for? How much are you looking to borrow? What's your background? What's the plan for the project moving forward, etc. And with that, they then build up a 1-2 page summary, which then goes over to the lenders. So what then happens is that gets sent over to the lenders. The lenders will then look through the bones of that deal. They'll come back, they might have a couple of other questions that they want you to answer. And then what then tends to happen is that essentially BDM, which is a business development manager or a salesperson from the bridging lender, will then have a look over the deal. They'll give it a once over and then issue a set of terms. That's called an AIP. So that's your agreement in principle. What we'll do in one of the later videos is we'll actually sit and we'll go through an agreement in principle and actually give you an idea of what does an agreement in principle in bridging finance actually entail. What does it mean? What do all of the different terms mean? What does all of the different monetary pieces of that jigsaw mean? And what we'll do, we'll go through that AIP hopefully in a lot more detail. So what happens, that AIP comes over, you look over it, we look over it, we then sit, we have a conversation, and at that point, once you're happy with that agreement in principle, we'll then move to full application. So in the next video, we'll talk about what the full application actually entails, but in terms of prepping for that first stage, just make sure you've got all of the numbers around the purchase, all of the numbers around if there's any refurb taking place or anything like that. And then obviously your numbers around your exit. So are you going to shift onto a buy to let? Are you going to obtain planning? Are you going to look to sell the property? Are you going to flip it into an auction? What's the end plan with that? Once you've prepped all of that, that's enough to put over to your broker. And then obviously your broker will put that into a 1-2 page summary, which then goes over to the lenders. So all in all, not the most intensive pre-application process. And as you'll see from the next video, the application process isn't too difficult either.